Entity maintenance filings are not taxes, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. The agencies that own these filings don't send warning letters. Miss the state annual report and your LLC quietly becomes delinquent. Miss the insurance renewal review and you're uncovered for a claim that came in last week. Let the domain registration lapse and someone else registers your domain. Email and website stop at the same moment. These 6 categories all share a common pattern. Failure is silent, expensive, and discovered at the worst possible moment. The discipline that prevents all of it is the same calendar work. Sit with what silent failure actually means in practice. A late tax return triggers an IRS notice within weeks. You know you're in trouble. A missed entity maintenance filing triggers nothing you'll see. Your LLC status flips on a Secretary of State portal you've never visited. A skipped insurance renewal review triggers nothing until a claim comes in and the carrier surfaces exclusion language added at last anniversary. A lapse domain triggers nothing on the lapse date until tomorrow's outbound email bounces. The asymmetry between active enforcement on tax filings and silent compliance on entity maintenance is why the rest of this video is a calendar discipline rather than an analytical one. BOI was introduced at entity formation back in Module 4.9. Here in Module 17, the question is what happens after formation. BOI is change triggered, not annual. Ownership changes, beneficial owner information changes, registered agent changes, any of those triggers a 30-day update window. No change in the year means no filing in the year. That's the simple version. And for most solo coaches with no ownership changes, BOI doesn't generate annual work. The complication is the regulatory status itself. Current status as of the last update of this module. U.S. form domestic entities are exempt under the March 2025 interim rule. No initial or updated BOI required while regulatory status pens. But this is a moving target, which is why there's an annual refresh flag on the maintenance checklist. The rule may shift again, and the next coach who watches this video may be operating under a different exemption posture entirely. Your CPA knows the current status when you're in this calendar cycle. Default position: confirm with your CPA before assuming exemption still applies. That's the rule for any regulatory item where the underlying status is in flux. State annual report is the filing that quietly converts LLCs to delinquent status. Most states require LLCs and corporations to file annually. Some run on a biennial schedule. The filing confirms your registered agent, your principal office address, and your management or member structure. The Secretary of State doesn't send a courtesy reminder. Late fees accumulate, the entity status flips to delinquent, and if you wait long enough, the state can administratively dissolve the LLC. Reinstatement is doable but expensive and creates a window where you're operating without entity protection. Calendar the due date with a 30-day lead reminder. Every year, no exceptions. Insurance renewals were built into the calendar back in Module 14.8. Module 17 is where you run the calendar. E&O, general liability, cyber health, each one renews on its policy anniversary and the dates don't line up. 6 to 8 weeks before each renewal. Review. Has revenue shifted in a way that changes your E&O limits? Has scope changed? New product offering, new client type, group programs you weren't running last year? Has the carrier added AI exclusion language during the term that you only see at renewal? Auto-renewing without that review is how coverage gaps appear in next year's claim. Domain renewal looks small and is catastrophic when it fails. A lapse domain is a professional emergency. Someone else registers it, email stops, website stops. Recovery is sometimes possible through a redemption period, sometimes not, and sometimes only at extortionate prices from the squatter who picked it up. 3 checks, 60 days before expiration. Auto renewal is active. Card on file hasn't expired. Admin contact email is current and goes to an inbox you actually read. Calendar a confirmation check 60 days before expiration and walk those 3 items every year. Subscription audit is not a compliance filing, but it belongs in the December slot. Every SaaS tool you use renews on its own anniversary across the year. The audit asks one question at the year mark. What are you paying for? What are you actually using? What gets canceled? Module 16.7 introduced the audit framework. Module 17 runs it. December is the right time because the rest of the year-end work is already pulling you into the financial state of the practice. Cancel what you don't use, downgrade what you overbought, document what stays. The annual exercise typically pays for itself in cancellations. One worked example because the abstract list lands differently once it's pinned to a real entity. Single member LLC, registered outside California, no franchise tax overlay, no BOI fine because the entity predates the requirement. Her annual cycle holds 4 items, and the calendar carries each one with lead time, not on the deadline. State annual report, due at year end, filed the first week of January when her CPA is back in office. Business license, February 15th. Auto renew on file. Verified during the December sweep, so an expired card doesn't surface as a lapse license in March. E&O, September anniversary, but the work starts in July with the AI exclusion review and continues through August with the broker quote. Domain, auto renew, verified during the January New Year sweep. None of these are surprises because none of them sit on the deadline. 3 questions per item run against your actual setup. Does it apply to your entity in your jurisdiction? What is the current due date confirmed from the source agency or vendor? Is automatic renewal in place? And is the payment method on file still current? Walk every item on the annual maintenance checklist PDF through those 3 questions before December 31st. Then add every non-automated item to your calendar with a 30-day lead reminder, and add a second calendar event for the actual renewal date so the lapse is impossible to miss, even if auto renewal fails. The cost is 20 minutes of December calendar work. The savings is the absence of a delinquency that takes weeks to repair.